Good afternoon, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Here to take a look at pitching for today, the 17th of August, is Monday, and we do have a 7-game main slate out of us this evening. I don't believe we have any weather to worry about, so we can take pitching for what it is. A reminder, this is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in Fanduel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. Now with all that said and done, let's just jump right in. Overall first look at the pitching, I hate it. For the most part, there's some spots that I definitely like, but just overall from a pool standpoint, I hate that I'm going to have to include some names that I just generally don't want to play. Detroit, Pittsburgh. One of the names that we're playing, and it probably feels kind of gross at times, is Framber Valdez. Capable of big games, or bigger games. I mean, he put up 33 against the A's a little over a month ago. 2 starts ago, put up 25.6 fantasy points. 27.9 against the Yankees 2 months ago. So, the upside's there. It's just his numbers have been all over the place all season long. We don't really know what we're going to get out of him. His K rate's much better on the road. He allows fewer home runs on the road. So, a couple things that probably stand out here, especially because Pittsburgh strikes out a lot. They can struggle against left-handed pitching, even though they do have Esmeralda Valdez and Rafael Flores, who have been destroying left-handed pitching. The lineup does still have Brandon Lau, who normally can sit against left-handed pitchers, so I just think overall it's probably a pretty good upside spot for Framber Valdez. He's just somebody that's not reliable at all, right? When Valdez is popular is when I'm most afraid because he seems to let us down. Mladzinski on the other side, I'm just not getting there. He's not really stretched out at this point. Again, really just a 3-inning guy, so I'm not, maybe 4-inning guy, but I'm just not getting there. Arizona, Boston. Gamboa's had some decent appearances. Was this 3 weeks ago? 63 pitches, 6 Ks in 4 innings. Looked pretty good. He's gone 1 inning and 3 innings since. Probably just this was just 2 days ago, so he's probably just a 1-inning opener, maybe 2 innings. And then for Brian Bayo, he's been phenomenal following an opener, but still, he has been really good. So, people are going to play him because of that. I'm just not sure this is the best spot. Talk about it a lot recently. Arizona just isn't striking out. And I expect their lineup to be basically full strength. Arenado might be out, but I don't know if I can get to Brian Bayo, I'll be honest. Mitch Brott on the other side, 2 starts ago was absolutely phenomenal. Last start wasn't bad. Pretty solid quality start-esque. I might have to consider him. I don't know if I'm going to get there against Boston, even though, Boston has come back down to earth a bit since their scorching month-long run. I just don't know what to expect out of Mitch Brott. He's generally not a big K guy. I think that 9 is easily going to end up his career high at the end of this season at the major league level. Generally has multiple walks in him. Can give up some home runs. Not the best ballpark for a left-handed pitcher. Right-handed bats obviously succeed pretty well in Fenway. But I'm going to consider Brott, but I don't know that I'm going to get there. San Diego and the Mets, I'm not going to consider Walker Buehler. I don't care. I realize he was just solid against the Brewers. Solid enough against Arizona, even though he only put up 8 fantasy points. He just gave up 1 run. I just have no desire to use him. His road numbers are ridiculously bad. Whip of 157, not good. Average against 274. Just no real reason for me to consider him. On the other side, Nolan McLean, somebody I'm going to consider and probably play. He is the most expensive pitcher. He's not the best pitcher on the slate. But, a month ago he put up 35 fantasy points against Philadelphia. That kind of shows us his range of outcomes. There's more K upside in that matchup with Philadelphia than the current one with San Diego. But still, 35 2 months ago against Cincinnati, 27 against Toronto a month and a half ago. Like, the potential upside is there, so that's why we're playing him. And obviously, the pitching on the slate kind of sucks. He did put up 17.9 against the first time without getting a win. He puts up a win that's nearly 22 fantasy points. Take away 2 walks or something, all of a sudden you're at 25 fantasy points, or 24. A little worse at home, but that's all right. San Diego has been a more potent offense recently, but still, McLean's one of the better real-life upside pitchers on the slate. Top 2, really, aside from Blake Snell. Atlanta and Minnesota, a game I expect a lot of people to be on from an offensive standpoint. But it's honestly a game that, while I'm going to be on from an offensive standpoint as well, I'm going to end up being on both pitchers. Like I said, the pitching slate is pretty bad. Perez with 0 runs allowed over his last 16 innings across 3 appearances or starts. Probably pretty good trends. He's not really going to throw 100 pitches, etc., but he's one of those guys that tends to not get blown up at times. Now, his road numbers are much worse than his home numbers, so that's obviously an issue. His K rate goes up when he's on the road, though, so that's something to pay attention to. His walk rate actually, does go up as well. I was trying to do math in my head. Actually, no, it's lower on the road, but his K rate's better. He's just allowed more runs, more base runners, etc. A lot more hits per 9 innings as well. But Minnesota can struggle a little bit with left-handed pitching. On the other side, you get Bailey Ober. I hate this idea. I can't believe I'm debating it. Maybe I should really play Mitch Brott, but that doesn't feel right either. Bailey Ober over the last 4 have not been good. So over the last month, he's not been great. He just is not a great pitcher. I'm sorry. But his home splits are phenomenal. Especially for a pitcher that gives it up on the road the way he does. His home run rate allowed has gone down this year. Yes, last year he's given up a ton of them, but he's still given up. What is that? About one every, 5 point an inning, so 1.7 per 9 or something, 1.6. Math is a tough thing for me today for some reason. Must be a Monday. But it's just a lot different when pitching at home. Atlanta kind of let us down over the last few days where people were pretty high on them offensively. So maybe there's a little bit of a hangover yet. And we get Bailey Ober to do one of those home, what did he pull out of his ass starts. I don't expect this. So don't look for this one, a complete game shutout for 42 fantasy points. But, he does have 30 fantasy point upside, I guess. He has multiple starts of 30 plus at home. So maybe we just have to close our eyes and pray. Kansas City and the A's. Mason Barnett not getting there. Kansas City got healthier today. They activated Michael Garcia and Vinny Pasquantino. So expect their lineup to look more like their opening day, everyday type lineup. On the other side, Michael Wacha. Probably going to have to play Wacha. He's probably my second favorite pitcher ahead of Nolan McLean on this slate. Struggled against the A's the first time we faced him. But 1, this is not the same A's lineup. And 2, he's pitching at home where he's been far better than on the road. That A's lineup lost Soderstrom as well, so now they're down Soderstrom, Kurtz, Rooker, and Langeliers. So, what is that? Hitters 2 through 6 of their lineup? 2 through 5 of their main lineup. And Jacob Wilson's been in and out of the lineup recently as well. I think he's fine and back, but still, in and out of the lineup for Jacob Wilson as well. So, just a plus spot for Michael Wacha, which we don't really say very often. White Sox and Cubs, you get Imanaga and Luis Castillo. I can tell you I am not chasing this Luis Castillo start. I don't care. Wind is blowing slightly out to left field or into the left field corner at Wrigley. I want the field to think that this is the current Luis Castillo, so that we can see this version of him show up in his first start with the White Sox. Last start, he faced Cincinnati, who definitely strikes out plenty, and he had a career resurgent start. I expect it to kind of regress back to what we normally expect out of Luis Castillo. So I'll be completely honest, there will be 0 Luis Castillo in my builds. On the other side, you get Shota Imanaga. Now, he's very susceptible to the wind issues. Now, the wind is very light blowing out to that corner, and some of it is kind of blowing really into the corner. So that can obviously take some home runs away with the wind if it blowing it foul. It's a small thing to think about, but still, if you take out that last start against the dangerous Washington squad, he's gone for 20 plus in 4 straight starts. Prior to that, 2 starts ago was against the LA Dodgers. So it shows it. 5 starts ago now was against the Minnesota Twins. So these are 2 teams that are in the top 7 in baseball home runs scored. I'm not sure where the Yankees fall in that now because they've been so ice cold, but overall, if he can avoid the home run ball, which you see, he's given up 6 home runs over the last 3 starts and 7 runs total. If he can find a way to avoid the home run ball at all, he's definitely in play on this shitty pitching slate. Sorry for cursing, but this slate's pretty bad for pitching. So you have to realize that since I'm considering playing Shota Imanaga and Bailey Ober, 2 guys that I just never play. Getting to the last game of the night, we're in Coors. So what do? Well, we get Blake Snell. Who looked fantastic in his last start against Kansas City, in his first start back off the IL. We get Blake Snell against a Colorado team that sucks mightily against left-handed pitching. We get him against a Colorado lineup that actually has really struggled recently as well. And then we get Blake Snell, who his first start in Coors 10 years ago now, 6 innings of no run ball, 9 strikeouts. His last start in Coors, which was 3 years ago, 7 innings of 1 run ball, 12 strikeouts. This stretch here, these 3 starts, totaled out to be 17 runs allowed in 11 2/3 innings. But that also did come with 11 strikeouts. So he has 39 strikeouts in his career in 28 2/3 innings pitching in Coors. I have no fears. And apparently now StatMuse now has some sort of issue. But I have no fears about playing Blake Snell in Coors. I don't mind picking on that lineup. Threw 84 pitches in his first start back. I'm going to guess he's probably good for 90 to 95. So I have no problem going with Blake Snell. Shigano coming off a pretty solid start against the difficult Arizona lineup to deal with. I have no desire. 2.4 fantasy points per start in his 2 starts against the Dodgers. 6.3 and a negative of... Where is it? 1.6. Just no interest in him at all. Too much contact, etc. So, even though the Dodger lineup obviously has been struggling a bit recently, there's just no upside to me for Shigano. So, that's kind of where I'm at. Anyways, hopefully you enjoy what I bring to you. That's all I got for today. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on. Get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., there will be a link in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, R-A-Z, for 10% off, or there is promo code BOOK, B-O-O-K. That's for a short period of time. If that still works, that gets you 20% off your membership with us. There's a link to the merch store. You can check that out. Check out my hoodie, some of the other designs. And as always, best of luck, everybody.